Welcome to my channel. My name is Sophia Ann from Sophia Ann Cardmancy, Soul Coaching through Cardmancy. Today, I'd like to do another demonstration reading. For today's reading, I'd like to follow on my new moon reading from yesterday. And yesterday was new moon and also All Saints Day. Today is All Souls Day. And for this reading, I'd like to use the Mysteries of the Black Madonna Tarot deck and tap into messages from my ancestors. See if there's any additional messages following on, the message that I received for new moon, and any guidance that they can give me. So again, I have already shuffled the deck and do the final shuffle here. And this is a relatively large deck. And then yesterday I noticed all the cards were not in the screen, and it was kind of too late that I wasn't paying attention to the recording. So today I want to make sure that the all cards are in the video. So the current energy, where am I coming from, what needs to be released, just a little bit past energy, any advice, the action I can take. And possible outcome. I'd like to draw 2 additional cards. Message above, message from above, and what's manifesting underneath. So I want to make sure this will all fit in somehow. Okay. Before I dive into detailed analysis, I just want to do a quick overview of what I see here. First, there are only 2 suits showing up here. One is the suit of Black Veil, and the other one is the suit of Living Stone. And then 2 major arcanas. Number 19, the Radiant Black Virgin. So number 19, I think this does associate with Sun card in traditional tarot deck, and this one 9, Holy Mountain. 9 can be, some decks have different trump cards there, but I think this associate with Hermit energy. And another thing I noticed is that except the 3 of Black Veil, I have 3 court cards. Interesting. The first one was Bride, and then the little bit of past foundation, or before energy was the Sacred Hog, and then what's underneath it was Mother. So in her deck, she does have 4 chords, and the first one is Virgin, and then the Bride is the second, then the Mother and Sacred Hog is the highest rank. I'm not sure if I would say that they relate to the traditional Page, Knight, Queen, and King energy, but which shall we see? Okay, so the first one, the only card in this Livingstone suit, excuse me, just to understand what this Livingstone suit is. So this is her book, and then she signed, and it's very nice. It has her almost journal, how she created these cards. But the mystery of Livingstone is the stone dolmen that meant for the mountain. The darkness is the one true, actually the basis and the root of light, without which the latter could never manifest itself, nor even exist. Light is matter, and darkness pure spirit. It is interesting that it talks about darkness and light. Basically, to me, what it's saying that, and to answer my question, what's the message from my ancestors? Light never exists without darkness, meaning that not just my own life, but whatever the life that they walked, there are times, I am sure that they had to. Some of them were living in the darkest time, and some of them may have had a better life. I don't know, but it to me, not just my life, but don't forget, for those who came before us, had to do some kind of sacrifice for make your light brighter, and that's what we are doing on this life, right? We deal with sadness and grief and stuff like that, but also we, on the other side, is the joy, bliss, and happiness, because life is all mixed. So don't forget, focus on focus on the shadow side. I think it's just the the message, I think, here, and I wanted to read a little bit excuse me, a little bit more. So black obsidian is likely the prime material of alchemists. It is from this important substance that metaphoric gold and other transmutations could be performed. Out of its dark and black unity of one comes the albedo, the stage of the king and queen, the duality. The unity of one has now become the duality of the opposite. According to alchemist Falsinelli, there is a black Madonna in the crypt or the basement of every cathedral in France. He says that she is the veiled one who must stay hidden through this age, and I believe the time has come for her to take her rightful place in our consciousness. Well, first of all, I picked obsidian to accompany this reading with this deck, the mystery of the Black Madonna tarot deck. So I feel like that was the right choice. Again, it confirms in the first reaction to the beginning of the message. I think it is one, but it's two opposite. You need two opposite to make it one. Duality, yin and yang, light and dark. It is impossible to exist without. So just focus for now is, I think that a little bit of a shadow side, and see how we learn from it. And then specific message for this bride of living stone. So bride of the living stone. So the bride, let's see, white lady of death and rebirth. Okay, now this is what we were talking about earlier, or yesterday's message. One thing ending and a new thing is beginning. So I think it is really appropriate, and in life is death, and in death is life. The death's mother and the birth mother are one and the same. In every moment, we simultaneously see the beauty and sorrow of that which is unfolding in front of our eyes. Within us lives the white lady of death and rebirth. Everything that rises will fall away, but in the falling away, there is a promise of new rising. So yesterday's reading, I was saying that I'm ending one cycle, but the new is beginning. But to me, it's not just like an ending same cycle or circle. I feel like it's going up, right? You next, whatever the next new is based on whatever you have accomplished previously. So even the hard work, sorrow or grief, whatever it is, I don't think it will go waste. The new beginning is always something that build upon what has been done. And also in the process, I think you can get rid of the things that you don't necessarily need anymore to move higher up. So, and it goes on to say that we carry our knowing in our bones. We carry generations of DNA and a memory in our bones. The metaphor of the bone is its indestructible nature. Bones do not burn easily, and they are nearly impossible to crush. They represent the irreducible soul and spirit of the human beings. The White Lady of Death and Rebirth supports us through the dark nights of the soul. She holds your quivering heart when you're faced with unspeakable grief at loss. You will find her within each and every fiber of your being and in your invincible spirit. Through our deepest yearning, we are led to the rites and the mysteries of Black Madonna. Thus we will recover our fragmented soul and will realize that something of great value is being recovered. So when you're going through sadness, grief, you may feel like that you can't get up anymore, but she's there with you, and our ancestor is there with us. My ancestors are here with me, supporting, and you will pick up fragments. but also I think it does say that we carry the generations of DNA. So sometimes we go through hardship and say, why am I going through this? Why do I have to go through this? In some ways, it's reminding that you're walking the journey of what your ancestors that couldn't walk or couldn't complete, because none of us are here. We were kind of a product of history, right? Nobody really decides when and how, where to be born, but here we are here. And then going back to the first part of what she said about this is the right time to right time and place in a consciousness, meaning that I think we are in an era that we can really work on our shadow side, the dark side, to make our light brighter. And to me, that's what my ancestor is really telling me. So the next cards I like to focus is the suit of black veil. The foundation we're coming from, and then the action card, and then I like to kind of touch on the mother of the black veil before I go to the holy mountain. And so the black veil, let's see what black veil, suit of black veil says. The mystery of the black veil. So Black Madonna is most sacred icon amongst those that revere her, and as such she is kept hidden, often behind the curtain or veil. She has miraculous properties and the power of life over death, and the death over life, and keeping her veiled protect devotees' initiatives. Great is the awe when she is uncovered and revealed. The light of nature tells us that life is pilgrimage, the journey to the stars along the Milky Way. Her hero path, a voyage across the great water in which she is ship, rudder, and guiding star. As a spirit of light in darkness, she comes to break the chain of those who live in the prison of unconsciousness and restore them to her true home. In the Tacones forest, she is both the underground magnesium and intuition that senses it, pointing the travelers to the right direction. She is traditionally the compassionate one. So this suit seemed to be when you're going through the hardship, these are the suits kind of guide you, help you along the way. And since I got like King and Queen, the highest court card, and it almost even assured me that that's what I really need to focus on. So let's see, the sacred hug of the black veil. Make sure that I have the right one. Okay. Sacred hug of the black veil. It references Isis of Egypt, mother of the royal blood. I'm not completely familiar with the story of Isis, but the soul speaks in unfamiliar language, like the language of hieroglyphs, whose symbol have to be painstakingly learned before we can understand their meaning. As the ability develops to become aware of what it is trying to communicate, to sense its presence and divine its intention and guidance, it begins to come alive. A dialogue develops, synchronicity occur which were not previously noticed. Understanding the symbolic imagery of germs can help to build this relationship. Isis was the greatest goddess in Egypt and worshipped for more than 3,000 years. Nut and Gab gave birth to both Osiris and Isis, along with 3 siblings, together with a set of grandparents and parents. They were the the 9 gods and goddesses. Isis was widely worshipped throughout Roman Empire, and not only limited to Egypt. The Celtic tribe, the Perissil, lived on the hill today, known as Monterey. It was a hill covered in forest where 12 springs flowed, 4 of which are still known. At least 3 of these were known to be holy springs. The legend of Saint Dionysius of Paris, the pagan temple on the hill of Montenegro, refers to the temple of Isis. However, long before the Romans brought the Black Isis to Paris, the Black Lady was already known to the tribes of the area. There is evidence of a temple dedicated in the Black Lady, goddess of waters, on the Lai de la Cité, where Notre Dame de Paris was later erected. Isis was adored as a great mother of royal blood and the cycle of life, death, and regeneration, yet she also suffered trial and loss like human beings. She brought to the image of universal mother a completely new dimension. She became mediator between 2 realms, like humanity. She feels pain and sorrow, and similarly to Mary, she becomes flesh and lives among us. In her sorrowful search of Osiris, she feels defeated, but she does not give in. Her human qualities of courage and persistence break through, as it were, to divine realm, transforming tragedy into myth. She suffers and transcends the trials of the human conditions, and so can serve as an image of reconciliation to the conditions of human life. Isis reminds you of the magnificence of nature and in immanence of divinity, and most importantly, when you remember this great truth, the myth of your own life reveal itself to you. So this really connect to what I was saying earlier. It feels like it is reminding me, it is my own life, but it really those who walked before us, came before us. There are so many stories of, just like Isis or Mary. You see the human, just reminding us of, I wouldn't say human conditions, but I think just the nature of our life, what we go through, and some may go through harder times, like in some may not, but regardless, we do face death and a rebirth, death and birth, really. Like you lose somebody, but you also celebrate the new life, and that's just nature of our life. So when you're going through the sorrowful time, just remembering that those who came before us and what they go through, and just gives me like empowerment and connect my life to not just current time, but also connect to those who came before me, and how they worked really hard to give my current life. So that will be the basis of the current situation. And then I would like to go ahead, touch on to Mother of the Black Veil, which is the next tier of the court card in this deck, in this suit. So Mother of Black Veil, the Notre Dame of Paris, always born from holy night, silent night, the shadow of great goddess of the beginning, the primal mother, goddess of all life, is part of aura of Black Madonna. Fearful emotions such as worry and doubt often leads to sleepless nights and insomnia. When we go to sleep for the night, we have to surrender all control to the dark force of the mother. So true. When we are feeling disconnected and anxious, the mind does its best to resist giving up control, and it would prefer to fight to the bitter end. But our divine Mother of Black Black Veil, guides us through the passage of nightmares and death, allowing the darkness of the night to receive and embrace us, takes us back to the divine womb for a few hours. She nurtures us in mysterious darkness and gifts us with great healing of unconscious. She blesses our path with dreams and visions from the nightly descent into the unconsciousness. It is true that we do give up all the controls that we have when we go to sleep. It is probably reminding me to let go of control, right? And you fight so hard, not to fall asleep, but to expect one outcome. But it's kind of reminding to say, don't do that. Don't Not always, just let go of control and rest. And sometimes that is the best course of action at the time. And then you may gain insights and a wisdom to carry on. What is it that it may get messages that what is it that that we are working on. So I'll pay attention to my dreams and what is it that anything specific at the time that my ancestors may be trying to tell me. I think that just bring back to my question and my just daily life, paying attention to the dreams, and there may be messages especially this time when the veil from this world and another world is very thin. I should really work on kind of connecting and hear the message, and don't worry what the message may be. Even if it's a sorrowful grief message, that could be something that I need to work on. So it's just telling me that do not afraid to do that. And then going on to this Three of Black Veil, that may have additional insight, because that's the action card I drew as action card. So Three of Black Veil, Sacred Card of Black Madonna Mary, Heart of Transformation. There you go. So it does talk about transformation, and it continues to talk about Shiva and Osiris in her book. Again, I'm not going to go into all the writings in this reading, but this is an altar of grief and sorrow, with promise of love's initiation that will bring new understanding and fertile earth in which life can arise anew, as she did for I think it's Isis, for Osiris, and Shiva, the Black Mother of new life, will awaken the still heart of new life within you once more. So again, it is saying that yes, through the grief and sorrow, there's always something new is coming out. So don't be afraid to going through the hardship and going back to the original message, not original, but the message before, the sacred hug of Black Veil, and Mother of Black Veil. It is saying that the vision of the Great Mother and her child's Savior evokes compassion and a holy bond between mother and child, which still exist in Christianity. Isis reminds you the magnificence of nature and the immense of divinity, and most importantly, when you remember this great truth, the mist of your own life will reveal itself to you. So just to remember these stories, myth, or gods, goddesses that we hear from different religion or regions, and it really the core message is really as human being and our life, what we go through, but in the end there's always something new coming up. So to me, what I'm going through, not necessarily the hardship, but I need to remember, always be reminded what my ancestors went through, and I'm here to bring a new life to new life to pass on to the next generation or next humanity to come. So I see myself is the point in the history, and if you really think about it, the time that we're here on this earth is less than 100 years, which is very short time. So what is it? What kind of legacy that you want to leave? What is it that we're here to accomplish? And I do see as, because people won't necessarily remember me, or in some ways others, that unless there is in history there is a great people in the history, like somebody invented something, somebody discovered something, or contributed to society and all that. That is true. But how people the loved ones remember you is the life that you accomplish as a human and as a person. So it's reminding me that yes, job is important, how well I do is important, but through those external accomplishment, always go back and stay true to myself. What is it that I'm working as a person, as a product of history that I'm here for? That's how I feel. And let's see what this the Holy Mountain will want to say, and then I want to read the last message from the message above. But the last Holy Mountain, number 9. So Holy Mountain is Our Lady of Montserrat, Montserrat. While Mary provides a focus for steeliest asceticism, she is also the ultimate of fertility symbols. The mountain blossoms spontaneously, so does the mother maid. The old significance of the moon and serpent as divine attribute survives in such sanctuaries as Montserrat, for there she is venerated as a source of fertility and delight. Virgin of Montserrat presides especially over marriage and sex, pregnancy, childbirth, holy mountain is a messenger of solitude, inner mystery, and answering the call to turn within. She calls on you to retreat from everyday life. Through introspection, we gain new and deeper insights and wisdom. So it does close up really well over what the other message I thought that was me. Basically, I was just saying that focus on internal solitude. We're born alone and we will die alone in some ways. We may be surrounded by loved ones, but it's not like somebody died with you. So I think what is it that I've been thinking about, what was the purpose that I was born, what is it I'm trying to do on this earth. But it does give me some insight into these messages from my ancestors, and like a little bit broader and a little bit deeper, and not going to external. Answer is really within, and something that already happened in the past, and from there I'm here to create brighter light. But without understanding the darkness, it is impossible to make the light within brighter. So it does make sense to me. And then just overall message, what is it that it's trying to say? Is the Sun card. Radiant Black Virgin. So 19. A Lady of Sorrow, Lady of Kibeho. Power of forgiveness is huge. It is really big. It can change this world. Yeah, forgiveness. I think forgiveness is such an important part of our journey. This is the hardest thing to do. But again, forgiveness, if you can forgive yourself or somebody else or whoever, it does set you free. And I can tell you that from my experience. So at times we have glimpse into future, and we come to realize that we cannot change the way the world in one lifetime or maybe ever. And the beauty and the truth of acceptance of this realization is that on this path of Mary and Virgin Mother, the Black One, we are always steered towards the chaos, or to steer towards choice of embracing both and letting go of either or thinking. By realizing that way of the world cannot be changed instantaneously, we hand the true power back to the divine. We understand that we are not responsible for all of humanity and the divine pain, and we realize that this vast power is alive within us. That through inner work and becoming whole, we become a conduit and a channel for this divine love to flow through us and transform all. Ooh, this is very nice message from divine, really, from above. At times we have a glimpse into the future. We come to realize that we cannot change the way of the world in one lifetime, or maybe ever. And the beauty and the truth of the acceptance of this realization is that on this path of Mary, the Virgin Mother, the Black One, we are always steered towards the choice of embracing both and letting go of either or thinking. By realizing that the way of the world cannot be changed instantaneously, we hand the true power back to divine. We understand we are not responsible for all of humanity and divine plan, and we realize that this vast power is alive within us. That through inner work and becoming whole, we become conduit and channel for this divine love to flow through us and transform all. So I was talking about the letting go earlier. So it is saying that just accept things. We may not be able to change anything at all, but we still have the power to try and rely on the divine. That divine power is working through us. So we may not have power, but once we let go of the control, maybe you become a better vessel for the divine love to flow through us and transform not just ourselves but the others as well. It's deep. I'm not probably explaining it better, but I think how she wrote is very beautiful, and this is really a nice message. And I forgot to include the last card of the deck, so which is 7 Sacred Birch. So 7. So that's a chariot card in the traditional deck, and I want to read this message at last when this reading became really long. This is the second time I'm working with the deck. Obviously you can't understand all of them at once, but this has been very good experience for me to working with this deck at this today, and just understanding, souls that has gone through this earth, this space, and went on to the next realm. So the Sacred Birch, Black Madonna delle Caleni, Madonna of the Hens. Black Madonna of Hens is one of the 7 sisters, the famous Black Madonna of Campania. The image of Our Lady of Mount Carmel was found buried beneath the earth. It was discovered by a flock of hens in the 16th century. The sacred scratched persistently at the soil where the icon was located until it was dug out. Between 1609 and 1610, 8 miracles were performed by this Black Madonna, including the healing of a cripple who was visited in a dream by the Madonna. The miraculous image was displayed year-round, but wooden statue is only revealed during her feast and another in September. Doors of the sanctuary are closed from Easter until the feast day, while the statue is being unveiled and throne set up in her honor. The feast begins when the door to the sanctuary open. Doors to the sanctuary open. The procession takes place in Easter Sunday. The statue of the Madonna is placed on the chariot, which is driven by motorbike. Devotees and pilgrims bring offerings to the Black Madonna on her sacred barge. The traditional offerings were live birds such as hens, doves, turkeys, or peacocks, or rich traditional food. Mothers bring their children to the Madonna to be blessed and protected by her. The procession, including the statue now covered in live birds, moves throughout the city streets in alleyways. It passes by roadside shrines and shrines in the front yard of homes. There are set up for processions in honor of Madonna delle Galline. There is often draped with satin and lace, and sometimes containing paintings or small statues of Madonna to whom prayers and food offerings are made throughout the feast. The Tumurita is played and Tumurita is played and danced in honor of the Black Madonna. One can see the connection between the Black Madonna of Hands and Sacred Hand of Demeter and her daughter Persephone, maiden goddess of the underworld. The sacred birch carries your intent, vision, and focus into manifestation. She tells you that way is clear, with your inner power directed into focused action. You have this in hand. Ooh, thank you. I always end with the last card on the deck, and this is very appropriate. For me, it's a major arcana too, but it's ensuring that I'm on the right path and that the path is ensured. And so I hope you enjoy this deck and the message these cards had for me today, and the message from my ancestors, and I hope some of it relates to you as well. But thanks again. It got really long this time, but hope to see you again soon.